Today I'm going to try to make the video shorter, and I'm going to try not to use the sound or the stopgap word so much. Today I want to talk about gratitude and gratitude lists by making one. And first, for context, I am an inveterate list maker, and that's my primary way of journaling, whether it's short lists or long lists, or sometimes it's a mind map, but I'm not like a kind of person who does long form journaling most of the time. I've tried it, but it's not the natural mode. Maybe I'll get deeper into it. But I'm grateful for the habit even of keeping a journal and getting my thoughts out. And these videos are really meant to be an extension of that. So I'm grateful for journals. One of the kinds of lists that I make a lot is a gratitude list. And I usually try to list at least 5 things every day that I'm grateful for. And so the first thing today is I'm grateful that I can extend my gratitude list from a written notebook to a video. Second thing that I'm grateful for today is I got my first comments on a video, or actually 2 videos. And the first comment was from an old friend or acquaintance, Dickie Cox. And it was so good to be reminded of him and a fellow traveler in the space of new media and thinking and teaching. And so here's a shout out to you, Dickie. Thanks for following. The next thing that I'm really grateful for is this sort of fairly recent development or field that actually I'd call it almost like a cloud of fields, that I would start with talking about UX or user experience. And I am very wayward in my interpretation of user experience. I know that it's usually connected to websites and applications. But I like to think of user experience as a kind of study or engineering of experience, and I think artists should be getting involved in that. And I think it should extend beyond the digital. And I also think that I'd rather think of a user as people instead of users, maybe even potentially friends. But that's kind of quibbling. This development of UX, and kind of related to it, I think of human-centered design, which I got quite involved with in the last few years. Those are things that really interest me. And I think part of what interests me, again, kind of like with AI or machine learning, is that they are still new. They're still being defined and codified, and they're areas that I want to learn more about. So that's 3 things: journal, and the extension to a journal on the internet. Number 2 is comments, and particularly comments from my pal Dickie Cox. And number 3 was HCD UX. I'd imagine we could put other things under that umbrella. Used to have been information architecture, and I think that digging into UX, it makes me rethink things like copywriting and, say, strategic thinking and systems thinking and design systems. All of that is still this cloud of information that I'm trying to wrangle into some sort of shape that makes sense for myself. Fourth thing that I'm grateful for is probably recursion and metacognition. I like that we can think about thinking, and that we can make about making, and art about arting, and talk about talking. My understanding of this kind of recursion or metacognition is again connected to cybernetics and looping. And as I've said before, these videos are going to become a loop. And I'd like you to loop with me and join. So if you haven't subscribed yet, or are even thinking about commenting, please do. So a fifth and final thing that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that my son is about to start college, and he's going to be going to USC. He's really an amazing person, and I envy the adventure that's ahead of him. And watching him as he transitions towards this reminds me that I shouldn't stop having adventures. And I want to think of what kinds of adventures may lay ahead. When I think about those adventures, when I dream about them, the thing that I look at the most is the idea of a digital nomad. And I'm interested in how so many people are going mobile in their work life. Many of them are expatriating, and quite a number of them are transitioning into kind of retirement or phased retirement. For some people, the goal is early retirement. I don't think I really want to retire altogether, but I do want to travel. And in particular, the place that I dream of is Chiang Mai, Thailand, which seems to be a hub for digital nomads. There are a lot of retirees there, supposedly quite affordable, and I'm sure I'd be digging the food, and I think I'd be quite comfortable feeling different there. Thanks for watching, and I hope I'll see some of you tomorrow.